I am 79 years old now. When you reach this age, people think you must have many stories. Stories about love, about success, about the wars you survived inside your own mind. But the story I'm about to tell you is not one of pride. It's one of regret. The kind of regret that quietly follows you for the rest of your life. And if you're listening to me right now, I hope you listen carefully. Because this mistake cost me something I can never get back. You see, when you're young, you think your body is strong. When you reach middle age, you think you understand your body better than doctors do. And when you get older, you realize how wrong you were. Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard the term self-medication? Of course you have. Most people have. It sounds harmless, doesn't it? Just a simple idea. You feel something strange in your body, maybe a headache, maybe some dizziness, maybe a little weakness. Instead of going to the doctor, you say to yourself, "It's nothing. I'll take something for it." That's exactly what I said. And that sentence, that one small sentence, destroyed the rest of my life. This happened about 9 years ago. At that time, I was still strong for my age. I walked every morning, made my own breakfast, even fixed things around the house. My neighbors used to joke that I was stronger than men 20 years younger than me. One morning I woke up and something felt strange, not painful, not dramatic, just strange. My right arm felt a little heavy, not numb, just heavy, like when you sleep on your arm too long and the blood hasn't fully returned yet. I shook it a little and said to myself, "Probably slept wrong." Then when I stood up, I noticed my right leg felt slightly weak. Not enough to fall, just enough to notice. But here's the dangerous thing about the human mind. When something doesn't fit our expectations, we explain it away. I told myself it was fatigue. Maybe I hadn't slept well. Maybe it was my blood pressure. Maybe it was just age. So what did I do? I went to the kitchen, opened the cabinet, and started my own little treatment. Some painkillers, a tablet for blood pressure, something my friend once recommended for nerve pain. That's the funny thing about self-medication. Your house slowly turns into a small pharmacy, bottles and boxes filled with pills you barely understand, and you convince yourself you're in control. That day, the weakness didn't disappear, but it also didn't become dramatic. And because it wasn't dramatic, I ignored it. That evening, something else happened. While talking to my neighbor, I noticed my words came out slightly slower, just a little, like my tongue was tired. He asked me, "You all right, Frank?" I laughed and said, "Just getting old." Inside, though, there was a tiny voice whispering that something wasn't right. But pride is a dangerous thing. I didn't want to sit in a hospital waiting room for hours. I didn't want doctors telling me what to do. I didn't want tests and scans and lectures. So I did what many people do. I Googled my symptoms. And the internet, like it always does, gave me 100 possible explanations: fatigue, low potassium, muscle strain, stress, nothing that sounded terrifying enough to force me to the hospital. So I continued my little pharmacy routine, more pills, more guesses, more confidence that I could fix it. 3 days passed. On the third morning, I tried to stand up from my bed, and my right leg collapsed under me. Just like that. No warning, no drama. My body simply stopped obeying me. I fell to the floor. At first I thought it was temporary. Maybe my leg had fallen asleep. But when I tried to move my arm, It wouldn't move either. That's when the fear arrived, cold, sharp, real. My neighbor found me 2 hours later after I didn't answer the door. The ambulance came, lights flashing, voices rushing, doctors speaking quickly. And then I heard a word that I had completely ignored for 3 days. Stroke. A mild stroke at first, the doctors said. But because I ignored the early warning signs, because I delayed treatment, the damage became permanent. One doctor looked at me and said something I still hear in my mind sometimes at night. If you had come in the first few hours, we could have reversed most of it. First few hours, not 3 days, hours. That was the moment I understood something terrifying about life. Sometimes the difference between a normal life and a permanently broken one is just a few hours of stubbornness. Today, 9 years later, I'm sitting in a chair I cannot leave without help. The right side of my body never fully returned. My arm barely moves. My leg drags behind me like it belongs to someone else. And the worst part? The disease didn't do this to me. My pride did. My ignorance did. My self-medication did. People think regret comes from big decisions, like choosing the wrong career or the wrong partner. But sometimes regret comes from something much smaller. A pill taken without advice, a symptom ignored, a doctor's visit postponed. So if you're listening to this, wherever you are, remember what an old man like me learned too late. Your body whispers before it screams. Pain, weakness, dizziness, confusion. They are not annoyances. They are messages. And when your body sends a message, you don't answer it with guesses. You answer it with help. Never assume you know better than a professional when it comes to your health. Self-medication feels convenient. It feels smart. It feels like control. But sometimes, it's just slow destruction disguised as confidence. If someone had told me this story 10 years ago, maybe I would have listened. Maybe I would have gone to the hospital that first morning. Maybe today I would still be walking in the park. But life doesn't give us the luxury of editing our past, so all I can do now is give you the warning I wish someone had forced me to hear. Take your symptoms seriously, ask for medical advice, and never gamble with your health the way I did, because some mistakes don't just hurt for a moment. They stay with you for the rest of your life.